Hello and welcome to more Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I'm really hoping, oh there we go, we can get this guy. And also I'm really hoping that the audio for this is not completely messed up, because last night I was doing a live stream and by the end of it my audio with my microphone was completely messed up and I could not get it fixed. I tried again just before this recording. I did like 5 different tests because I am paranoid, and it seemed to be working fine, so hopefully this recording is fine as well. If you're watching it, it probably is, and if it's not good, I'm gonna have to probably replay this entire game, which is gonna be fantastic. Or maybe I can just reset the game and start from wherever I saved it last time. But yes, we are back in the Hidden Palace, and honestly, last time I ended it pretty much right near the end. I kind of goofed at one point. We had to use the fairy spell to get through a little gap where I thought I could just hold to the right and that would work, but it doesn't. So we're on a return path right now. So we're gonna return back to where that path was, and then it'll lead back to where the boss is pretty much. However, on the return path is one little thing I want to show off. So we've got to go through this little door right here. Now that elevator will take us back up to where we need to go. However, if we go over that way, you know what, just for the sake of not dying, I think I'm not gonna actually go over there, but basically over there is another point bag, so you could go over there. I don't even think I can use the life spell right now. Let me see how much a fairy costs. Fairy costs 40, so I'm pretty sure that I can't use a life and a fairy, so I'm gonna have to go through here without taking any damage. I don't think it'll be too hard. This part's not particularly difficult, so let's just keep walking along, and let's go back to that gap where we have to drop down, and then I'll use that fairy spell. Okay, so we're back at the gap, so what we have to do right here is drop down. It's gonna transition us to the next screen, and then what we have to do is pause the game, select the fairy spell, unpause, press select, and then we can fly through the gap right here. Now there's also going to be an enemy right there, but we can't really kill him as a fairy. If you want to, and actually let's go ahead and do this just because I want that guy to be dead. Let's go back just to kill this guy. So there we go, he is now dead, and let's go and try to fight the boss. How many lives do I have left? I've still got all my lives, so I shouldn't have any problem. I might die once, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and use the shield spell. Now this boss, very unique, very cool, and actually not that hard as long as you've got a full life bar. So actually, in these little gaps, a dragon head's gonna pop up, and basically we gotta stab the head right here, and he'll shoot fire at us. I only got him once right there. If you do it right, you can get like 5 swings in, but I did not do it right. Okay, dodge the fire and stab a couple of times. We've got 1 life bar off of him. There we go. There we go. We got a couple swings, dodge the fire, and then try to get him on the way back down and completely miss. And we pretty much just rinse, repeat that pattern. He can pop up in this spot. He can pop up in the other 2 spots as well, so we just kind of have to follow where he goes. Okay, let's just try to get him on the way back down. Wow, I'm doing a very good job at missing. Okay, we got them right there at least. And oh, there we go. Double hit. Yes, the standing stab into the crouching stab. Works like a charm. Oop, dodge that guy. Oh man, for some reason I'm missing. I think you have to be very close for it to work or something like that. Okay, we got that. Missed him on the way back down, but he's down to 2 life bars. As you can see, as long as you're patient, it's pretty easy to avoid taking damage. And there we go, we got him! Now, if you be too hasty with that, you can either fall into the pits, which is bad, or you can take a lot of damage. He actually does hit pretty hard if you do get hit, so taking that one patient, dodging the fire is the best way to go. But let's go and place the final crystal, get our final level as well, which will bring our attack up to level 8. And I've actually gone and looked up what it actually does if you level up again after this point. So first, let's go ahead and get our attack leveled up. So wait for that to go all the way up to 8,000. There we go. And we'll get that. Now, it's going to take 9,000 to next level. However, once that levels up, you cannot actually level up your attack, your magic, or your life anymore. Basically, you get an extra life. So technically, for the end of the game, if you wanted to, you could grind up a bunch of levels and have a whole bunch of lives, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, but anyways, I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's just move on. Now, I want to go over this way and go across this bridge. I'm going to go ahead and use a shield spell. We're going to have those CRUDs, and I hope they don't knock me into the pit, you CRUD! It's okay. I still have 3 lives. Let's go ahead and use shield again. And not get him to jump at the exact wrong spot. That was ridiculous because they don't just happen to spawn there normally. That was just very bad luck twice in a row. Gosh dang. See, look at this. Look at this. We're not going to get bad luck again at least. So lost a life to that. Kind of a bummer. But we want to go into this area right here. Now, we've got these enemies. And these guys you would not be able to see if we didn't have the cross item from the last dungeon. Now this... Oh, we're gonna take damage while talking to the sign. It's Kasuto. Strange. It is deserted. So yes, this is actually an old version of the other town that we saw before. And as you can see, the building is kind of destroyed. But if we go inside this building right here, we can actually go down to the basement and get another spell. This is actually going to be the final spell in the game. And a very important note about this one, you can only get the spell if you've got all 8 magic containers. But let's go talk to him. I can give you most powerful magic. There we go. And this is going to be the Thunder Magic. And as you can see, it costs 64 gosh dang magic. That is 4 magic bars, which if we have full magic, it is half. So it's crazy expensive. But what it does is it'll attack all the enemies on screen, do big damage, and I'm pretty sure it's required for a boss, so definitely worth getting. Now, you can go and explore the rest of this place, but all the buildings are destroyed, and if you go inside any of them, they're all empty, so it's kind of a waste of time, unless you're just really curious what you can see. But we're just going to go right back out, and we're going to backtrack a bit, because now we're going to head off towards where the final dungeon actually is. Now, this episode is not going to have any of the final dungeon in it, because there's quite a lot of stuff to do on our way there, but we'll be doing the entire dungeon next time, which will probably end up being a very long one. So what we want to do is backtrack through the forest right here. Gosh dang it. There we go, and we're going to go across the bridge. Now, we're going to have to deal with those jumping fish guys again. Of course, I don't really mind the jumping fish that much on their own. Sure, you'll lose a little experience, which I don't really care about at this point, and they'll do a little damage. Not a big deal. What is a big deal is getting dropped into the pits. So if there was no pits there, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But yes, we want to go through the graveyard right here and go down into this other creepy looking area. One thing I want to show off while we're here, with these types of enemies, if you use the spell, it'll actually turn them into slimes. So if they're just super annoying, you can go ahead and do that. It costs a little bit of magic, but, well, killing the slimes will probably get you some magic to restore that, so might be worth it. But let's go down through here. We're gonna have another action scene. We've seen this kind of action scene before, but now we've got the blue guys while we're at it. I think they're called Moas. So you could use the spell to change them, but there's a lot of them, and it'll only change the ones that are on screen at the time, so you'll probably still have to deal with them. Now, once we're down here, we're gonna go to the right because we'll get a red potion. So let me go ahead and use... Oh my gosh, I can't even afford to use a life spell. Okay, so if you're in the situation where you cannot afford to use a life spell, it's good to go ahead and grab this and then use the life spell because it restores all 8 bars of magic, but if you can't use the spell, you can use it after it's still charging, it'll keep going. Now, it's not going to give you infinite magic like the old ladies will, but I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, you can use the magic after you get the thing, and it'll still restore up to 8 bars. And I got knocked into a pit. Fantastic. I swear most of my deaths in this series are from falling into pits, because of gosh dang enemies like these CRUDs. Okay, let me just... they're just moving so oddly. I'm going to use the jump spell. I'm just going to go ahead and use it just to give myself the best chance of getting by. Here we go. Okay, let's continue our way through right here. And of course, now that I'm recording, she never does this when I'm not recording, but as soon as I start recording, the cat always wants to go out, so let me let her out real quick. Okay, we're good. Aside from me losing a bunch of lives, that is not good, but I think that might just be a cat thing. I think maybe once they see a door closed, it just makes them want to go through it. I'm not sure. I feel like dogs are like that too, but she'll lay in here for hours and hours and hours just sleeping without wanting to go out at all when the door's open, but as soon as I close it, she wants to go out within a few minutes. Yeah, I think it's just an animal thing. But I just want this guy to be dead before I start trying to jump over these pits. I wish they would not go so high above me. You know what? I'm going to use a jump spell just to get up there to kill this guy. Of course, he's probably going to start flying higher. There we go. Okay, so he's dead. And the jump spell is going to help out with this platforming action as well, so it's probably worth doing, especially now that it's so cheap to use. The jump spell only cost 8 magic, which is half a bar, and we got very lucky getting a gosh dang red potion right here. Let's just go ahead and jump across. There we go. And let's keep going. Now, this little side thing, I'm going to pause right here, so the sound's going to cut out, but if you go to the left in this little gap right here, you can actually get a point bag. I don't really want the point bag, so I'm not going to bother, but it is something that you could do. And one other thing that I want to mention, I forget if I've already mentioned this, but when you get to the last oh my gosh, are you kidding me? This is actually getting a little bit ridiculous, but what I wanted to say is once you get to the last dungeon, if you die there and you get a game over, you'll actually start at the start of the dungeon, so it's actually pretty awesome. What we want to really try to do is get to that last dungeon without getting a game over. Now, I'm not doing so great because I keep gosh dang falling into pits and dying, and we've got a lot of action scenes to go, so I might not make it on my first try. I might have to try again, but I'll do my best. So pretty much every time we get to a new area, I'm going to use the jump spell just to give myself the best chance possible of not falling into pits, and I gotta... Well, there it went. Okay. I should mention, if you get a game over and you come back here, the red potion is back, so definitely pick that up. And this is kind of what I was saying. If you want to go grind some lives to actually have a better chance of getting to the last dungeon, definitely go do that. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to stop getting knocked into pits here. I think I might get another game over here. So what keeps happening is I'm actually trying to I'm trying to kill them instead of just rushing through. And what's happening is, the thing is when you jump and you use your jump upward slash, only the part where the sword is actually hit. So if you don't line it up just right, you basically jump inside the enemy and then they hit you. And that keeps knocking me into the pits. And now the cat wants back in. Gosh dang it, cat. Why? I think what I'm going to start doing is just using the spell more. It seems to work out pretty well if we can just kill the guys with that instead of trying to jump at them and stuff. I mean, it uses a little bit of magic that you could otherwise use for life spells, but really life is not the issue right now. It's definitely just falling into pits, so I think spell is the way to go. Now also, of course, when you kill all those blue slimes, you're gonna get some potions back, so it kind of works out. Oh geez, unless they get stuck in walls, then I guess that doesn't work out so well. The main issue is just that as you keep going, there's more of them, so we can only kill what's on screen at the time, and then I just get attacked by new ones. Now, I think I will die just from life right here, so unless something magical happens, I think I'm gonna have to try again here. So, yeah, we're gonna have to try again for sure. Well, we made it into the first cave at least, but I can guarantee that I'm about to die, so I think that we're just gonna have to try again, but I'll try it. Okay. We'll get that at least. I don't know what that's gonna do good for me, but, well, we've got something to work with. Maybe we can make a little bit more progress. Nope. The guy just like swept up into my legs. There it goes. And let me tell you, getting back after a game over at this point in the game is a pain in the butt. All right, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This is actually the next day because I got like 5 game overs. A little bit salty about that, but we're gonna go back and keep trying, and hopefully we'll make our way through the valley of death. I will not be defeated. We're going to make it through here. Oh my golly, and we're knocked into lava. I think the thing that's most annoying is that even when you're just running into a random enemy on the world map, if you die, you have to start that action scene over. I mean, again, I had dealt with this yesterday. The issue is not taking damage. The issue is gosh dang getting knocked into pits constantly because these guys have the most bizarre flight patterns and they knock you in every gosh dang direction. Okay, let's keep going. I don't need to point back over there. Oh yeah, this is a required action scene. Well, we're gonna make it. All right, looking pretty good. We're almost at the cave again. The cave is kind of the furthest I've been, and oh my gosh, we ran into a big one. Now, I think when you run into the big ones, I think you want to go to the left, because you can see there's that blue guy over there, so I think the left path is the safe one. Let me just try to kill these things first. I'm gonna try to stay in the middle, so when I inevitably get hit, I don't get knocked into the pit and die. All right, I got all those guys killed. Oh my gosh, there's one over here too, and he knocked me into the pit. Gosh dang it. Okay, very important note. The blue guys throw CRUD. Don't get knocked into the pit. Just don't do it. All right, watch, here he comes. Jump over that CRUD. Boom, okay, we're past him. Let's keep going. Please just let me get to the cave. I've only got 1 life at this point, so we're just about at the point where I'm gonna have to use another game over. But this whole patience thing is actually mostly working out. I kind of got messed up by the blue guy, and, well, I lost another life somewhere else, but for the most part, the patience thing is working out. I think this is finally the time, guys. Taking that day off to calm myself down is definitely working out. I think that I'm gonna get a game over this time, probably, but I think that I'll be able to get through here with the next game over. Now, we got a point back right here, but those guys only dropped 50 points. I just have no chance of getting an extra life or getting 9,000 points to get an extra life. But this cave looks to not have many pits. Even still, I'm gonna go ahead and take the time to kill these guys, but it looks like it's relatively safe in here, as long as we avoid taking damage as much as possible. Like that. If I could just avoid that, that'd be great. I'm gonna go ahead and use another life spell here. I still got enough for a jump spell, and we're on to the second segment of the cave. Let's keep going. We got scorpions. Gosh, I think I'm just gonna skip past that guy. If he shoots some fire, I'm gonna try to jump over it. Looks like we got past him. All right, let's keep going. We got blue guys throwing CRUD at us. Once again, just gonna dodge. Kaboom, we made it to the first cave. Only this last life though, so if I die at any point here, this is not gonna work out so well. So let's go ahead and use the jump here. That might have been a waste, but, well, we got some magic back, so I guess it was not a waste. Let's just go ahead and kill these guys. Once again, just staying in the middle. Want to stay in the middle because getting hit is probably going to happen at some point. And when it does, I don't want to be knocked into the pit there. So let's wait for this guy to work his way back up. Usually they'll eventually work their way higher and higher. So after some time, we'll be able to get them. I think they might go higher, especially if you jump. I think they might base their position around where you are. Not sure about that. It might just be coincidence, but... well, let me kill him. Okay, we got that guy. I don't think this is a big one. Yeah, so when it's the small slime guys, there's not going to be those giant dudes. Now we've got an action scene here, and this is where I want to be saving my jump spells for. Definitely these things. We've got a red one here instead of an orange one like we had before. Let's see if I can lure these guys over here to safe spots. There we go. And it's very important when they're underground like that, keep jumping, because you can't really hit them with your regular attack, so you got to keep jumping to use your downward stab, just like that. And it works out pretty good. Let's see, any other enemies over here? Got some red guys. I gotta be very careful with these because, well, I'll probably die if I get hit. That actually worked out very nicely though. We got a little bit lucky and it looks like we're gonna make it through this segment. Let me just kill this guy off. Is there anything else over here? It looks like we're good, so we're moving on here. I think we just have this last cave to get through. If I can get through here, we'll be just fine. But one small problem, this is not going to be easy to get through. Let's get that guy out of the way. I don't have enough to heal. Oh my gosh. Let me just get over him. Oh, crud. Okay, we're shielding. We're shielding. If I take the hit, I think I'll be alive still. Oh, jump over it. Keep running. Keep running. Please. Yes! Oh my gosh, we did it! I mentioned this earlier, or I guess yesterday in the recording, but if we happen to die and get a game over here, we'll continue at this dungeon, so holy crud, we made it! We are ready to tackle the final dungeon in the finale, next time on Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I will see you guys then. Take care.